Hello, I'm Dan. Some of you will know me from some videos on this channel. Some of you will know me from Twitter, places like that. I want to be a screenwriter, and this is a new series of videos I'm doing every 2 weeks. And for those of you who are wondering what these are about, essentially this isn't really the first of the. This is more like episode 0. This is me explaining what it is I'm doing, but there's a bit of a story to it. So if you bear with me, I may end up rambling a little bit here. But I suppose the truth is that recently I've become disillusioned with screenwriting. Over the last year, I've gone from one extreme to the other. I started more excited than I've ever been about writing. In fact, so excited that I wrote a project about writing, which was our web series, Writing Space. Which took us, 6 or 7 months to write because of schedules and having to stop and start. Then a 5 or 6 months, to get the production together and actually film it, which the filming itself only took a week, but getting all the equipment and organising the crew and the food and all that stuff for that week shoot took us, for 5 or 6 months. And at which point, a whole year had passed and we'd achieved, from the outside, very little. Then we spent another 4 or 5 months, or I spent another 4 or 5 months, editing the project and preparing it for launch. And that I put all that time into it, which, keep in mind, that's a total of a year and a half, because I loved the project. I still do love the project. It's I'm proud of it. I'm always going to be proud of it. The problem was that during that time there wasn't time for anything else. It's all I worked on. So when you dedicate a year and a half of yourself to one thing and then you put it out there and no one watches, it's disheartening. And that's very much against my nature. My nature has always been that the goal wasn't to get the most eyes on a thing or to get the most success or the most money. AdSense, I don't care. The reason this hurt is just because when you put that much time into a project and no one watches, you feel a little bit like the time was wasted because it makes you feel like the project wasn't good enough. All writers have that, that fraud complex, where they doubt themselves constantly. And then you see sort of, not proof, but like something to make you rethink and go, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I am no good at scripted stuff. And this wasn't helped by the fact that we then made some non-scripted videos. We made videos that were just like us talking to just our voices over footage, explaining what our favourite Jim and Pam moments or what the shows we were most sad to see cancelled were, just like lists. And they were getting like 10 to 20 times the amount of hits the scripted web series that took us a year and a half to make was. And we made those in like a week or two. And don't get me wrong, we're really proud of those too, but it knocks you back and it makes you rethink, is screenwriting just dead? And that's not true either. That's also something I don't think. But those doubts creep in. And I had a sort of 5 or 6 month period following that where I did very little writing because those thoughts had crept in and I almost didn't want to be a writer anymore for a while. I thought it was a waste of time. No one cares. I'm either not good enough or I don't know. And again, it's so anti what I believe because to see my passion drained for it like that was really depressing because it's just not me. When I got into writing, it wasn't because I wanted to be successful. It's because I wanted to do something that made me happy. It's how few people get to say, "Oh, I do a thing for my job that I enjoy doing." To me, that's cracking the code. Why not be happy at home and at work? And it actually upsets me to think that there was a period of time when anything other than that mattered. So that's when I had the idea for these videos, and now I'm finally at the point. So again, sorry for rambling so much, but the premise is essentially that I had this idea to document myself completing a script. And that sounds really strange, but essentially the idea is that I want to make myself accountable to someone. because that will force me to finish, and that will force me to push through this sort of I don't know, whatever this period in my life is, you know. And I suppose that's where you come in, because I'm sort of officially inviting you to be essentially my sponsor. My writing sobriety has to come to an end, and by making these videos, which are going to contain, you know, footage of me trying to put the script together, explaining what the script is, you know, sort of explaining the struggles, talking about writing the treatment, the beat by beat, you know, the script itself, you know, from concept to execution to completion, you know. You guys are going to be along for the ride if you watch these videos, and that makes me accountable. And the thing is, if I know even so much as one person is watching, I'm gonna, you know, finish it. So yeah, so there it is. For as long as it takes me to see these 100 pages through, every 2 weeks I'm gonna update you guys on where I am and how it's going, and hopefully it's gonna be honest, forthcoming. You know, I'm not gonna shy away from my shortcomings. If I write nothing in the 2 weeks between the videos, then you're gonna have a very depressing bit of footage of me basically admitting my failure, you know, and it's not necessarily for your amusement. None of this is for your amusement. I'm going to do my best to make these entertaining, but really it's more for me than it is for anyone who watches. You know, hopefully, yeah, I'll finish this thing and I'll find whatever it is that I'm looking for, the thing that I lost in the last few months, and I suppose that just comes back to my passion for screenwriting. So yeah. Sorry for rambling so much. I will see you in 2 weeks for the first update on how the treatment for this particular project and some of the characters are coming along. I don't know yet if I'm going to go into specifics about the script or if I'm going to be vague. I haven't really decided. I'll see how the video works, vague I suppose, and if it's too incomprehensible, me going that main character and not really specifying what the situations are and stuff, then I'll switch it up. I don't know yet. But yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll come back to yell at me in 2 weeks when I've inevitably done nothing.